Flint residents have been dealing with a mountain of trouble since the city began pumping water from the Flint River. The latest issue has been high levels of lead leaching into the water system from old pipes. I'm here now with Arthur Woodson. I've seen him at a number of meetings over the last few months. Arthur, you've heard what the governor says. You live in Flint, you drink the water. What do you want to be done about this problem? 1,000 cases of bottled water donated from Soaring Eagle to the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan, and folks here at the food bank say they are going to start using all of their resources within the city to get this water out to residents and especially children in the city who need it the most. Governor Snyder has announced Flint will switch back to getting water from Detroit, hoping the change will eliminate many of the city's water safety concerns. Residents in Flint have been protesting about the water problems in Flint for months, and they say they'll continue to speak out until a permanent solution is in place.
Lead-free water! Lead-free water! Lead-free water! Lead-free water!
Flint residents back on the streets today protesting the quality of their water.
Shut that water off! Shut it off now!
Residents have been complaining about the quality of their water for months. Tanya Williams brought a baby bottle filled with water she says came from her niece's home. She says it's dirty and has a bad smell.
This, when it is not shaken up, has sediment about this far in the bottom. So, quite disgusting.
Recent tests revealed the water in some areas contains high levels of lead leaching in from the city's old pipes.
This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. And now they're saying that it's okay for our babies to drink it as long as it's cold? No.
All these residents say the problems with the water started when they stopped getting water from Detroit and started getting it from the Flint River. They say the obvious solution is to go back to Detroit, but city officials say it's just not that simple.
This lead issue, these are service lines, so that's not going to just go away. We can't say that if we switch to DWSD, that's just going to go away.
Flint City Administrator Natasha Henderson says right now the city must follow emergency orders put in place by the former emergency manager. Henderson says city leaders are working with state officials to get the funds needed to switch back to Detroit water until the KWA pipeline is complete next year.
We have asked if we could have financial assistance to be able to go back to DWSD. That is not a part of the emergency manager's budget that was left in place. We have to ensure that we are fiscally stable.
The city has requested around $1.3 million a month from the state and is still waiting for a response. But City Councilman Eric Mays thinks the city can afford to take action now.
The governor, he can reimburse us later. I'd be glad to get that reimbursement.
Flint leaders stress that everyone in Flint does not have water with high lead levels. They're urging residents to get their water tested, and you can schedule one of those free tests by calling this number, 810-787-6537. Reporting live in Flint, Kristin Moore.
I called my sister and says, you need to get down here and get a filter.
Dozens of Flint residents like Pamela McDaniel smiling today as they walked out of the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services offices in downtown Flint with a free water filter in hand.
I feel wonderful. I feel terrific because I've been really scared to drink water.
Another 1,800 filters are being given away thanks to funding from DHS and the Flint Housing Commission. Holly Londy came to get one for her home, too.
For my child. Our water is unsafe, and I want to make sure she's safe and drinking not lead.
She says the filter will provide a little peace of mind. It's designed to make the water healthier by removing chemicals like lead, which tests show have been found in water being pumped through aging pipes to some homes in the city. Most Flint residents say they started noticing problems with their water when the city stopped getting water from Detroit and started getting it from the Flint River. They say the filters will provide a temporary fix, but going back to Detroit would be a more permanent solution.
I just wish we go back to the Detroit water, and then next year when we go to Lake Huron, that'll be good. But the Flint water, we definitely need to do something new with it.
City officials say they've asked the state for financial assistance to cover the cost of switching back to Detroit water until the new KWA pipeline is complete. Meantime, many residents say a free water filter is better than nothing.
I can drink my water. It saved me a lot of money because I've been spending a lot of money buying bottled water. So now I can drink my water now.
It really sets my mind at ease.
Reporting in Flint, Kristin Moore. The answer to that question is no. No real decisions were actually made today on what to do about the water emergency in Flint, but some direct answers were given. However, residents felt they also should have been part of the discussion.
Makes us think that there's something suspicious going on.
Elizabeth Taylor, one of several Flint residents, upset that they weren't allowed to sit in on today's meeting with members of the Blue Ribbon Advisory Panel. The 72-year-old says she participated in the Virginia Tech water sample study. Her results showed high levels of lead, and she wants to know what's going to be done to fix the problem before it gets even worse.
I would suspect that my hot water tank and my washing machine is also being corroded, and all those things are going to collapse at the same time.
Inside the packed room, Virginia Tech professor Mark Edwards spoke via speakerphone about the results of tests he's conducted. He says high lead levels were found in the water being pumped to homes across the city from the Flint River. He also noted high levels of chlorine were shown as well.
What would you like at this point if you're in this situation and you have to utilize this water supply?
City Administrator Natasha Henderson asked members of the panel for their opinions on whether the city should switch back to getting water from Detroit until the KWA pipeline is complete next year. A local pediatrician says if the current water source is harmful to the health of adults and children in the city, then yes.
We can't stay in the spot where we are now. It's morally and ethically unacceptable, and as a physician, I would not support that.
If there is a choice, taking all of the finance off the table, I could say that I would like to go back to DWSD.
Leaders have asked the state for more than $1 million a month in financial assistance to make the switch possible financially without going into a deficit. Elizabeth Taylor says the governor needs to do whatever it takes.
Ante up the money. People are way more important than how much everything costs. You either care about the community or you don't.
And while many people on the panel seem to be in favor of switching back to getting water from Detroit, others say it's just not as simple as flipping a switch. Reporting live in Flint, Kristin Moore. They brought water from their homes that looked a lot different than this to show exactly why they're so frustrated. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I'm Kristin Moore. While city and state leaders now work to resolve the water issues in Flint, residents say they still need clean drinking water until the problem is fixed. TV5's Faith Getner has more. And the water emergency in Flint has inspired state leaders to urge all school districts to look at the quality of their drinking water as well. Michigan Public Radio reports the state will ask schools across the state to test their water. They say while Flint's water situation is unique, what's not unique is the age of many school buildings in Michigan that could also have lead pipes. A group of Good Samaritans in Flint have opened a new water distribution center in the city. The center is located at Charity United Methodist Church on Clio Road in Flint. Pastor Brian Willingham says the community must come together in this time of need. A Flint restaurant owner going the extra mile so he can keep serving his customers despite the city's ongoing water crisis. Good evening, I'm Kristin Moore. Thanks for staying up with us tonight. Now, even though state and city leaders have announced plans that will hopefully remedy the situation, business owners aren't taking any chances when it comes to the current water quality and their customers' health. TV5's Nick Lully has more. Governor Snyder has announced Flint will switch back to getting water from Detroit, hoping the change will eliminate many of the city's water safety concerns. Switching gears now, let's talk weather. What a beautiful day it was. Sunshine and warmer temperatures made for just an absolutely picture-perfect day out there. Now, will the nice weather continue into the work week? Well, for that answer, let's check in with meteorologist Chris Eastlick. He's in the First Warm 5 Weather Center with more. What do you think, Chris? Thank you, Chris. Across Michigan now, a safety alert has been issued at Western Michigan University after 2 students say they were robbed on campus. The Kalamazoo Gazette reports leaders of the university issued the alert today after the incident was reported. A male student was reportedly walking alone late last night when he was knocked to the ground by a group of men. They stole a small amount of cash from him. Then about an hour later, another male student was accosted by 5 men who stole just an article of his clothing. Now, one of the men told the victim he had a weapon. Campus officials are telling students and staff not to walk alone and call authorities if they see anything suspicious. A man from West Michigan is dead after being shot by a state trooper. Authorities say the 40-year-old from Cato Township was killed Friday when a trooper and a Montcalm County deputy tried to serve him a warrant. On a much lighter note, hundreds were in Detroit today for the 6th annual Bike the Bridge event. More than 500 cyclists gathered in southwest Detroit, then rode across the Ambassador Bridge to Windsor, Ontario. The event is known as Michigan's only international bike ride. After crossing the bridge, participants then returned to the U.S. and went on a 20-mile ride through the Motor City. Great day to do so. Well, Halloween is right around the corner. Some people like to go all out for the occasion, creating spooky displays in their yards. But with decorations now being more realistic than ever, some ask, how scary is too scary? TV5's Faith Gantner went out to find out. Or you just could decorate with pumpkins. In fact, many people were out today making the most of the nice weather, trying to pick out the perfect pumpkin. Families from all over stopped by Johnson's giant pumpkin farm. They were searching for the best pumpkin to decorate with, carve, or even make pie out of. County by county now, starting in Bay County, where animal lovers were rocking out at Fur Fest in Bay City. The 12-hour event is packed with activities and live entertainment. There were raffles, a kids' activity tent, even a spaghetti dinner, all to benefit the Humane Society of Bay County. And there was a pretty big crowd in Midland County for the final day of Diaper Downpour. Organizers of the local Diaper Alliance marked Diaper Need Awareness Week with several events last week. The grand finale happening today at Midland's Grandma Pumpkin Patch. The Alliance provides more than 35,000 diapers a month to children and families in need.
Being a celebrity is hard.
Yeah, and some people deal with it better than others.
I guess so.
To whom much is given, much is required.
I guess.